Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 30th of April. This is the second podcast I'm having to do today because Mr. Perry doesn't understand what the hell people are saying to him and why everybody's mad at him. We're like, wow, how is that even possible? Mr. Perry, you ruined my business that I worked my whole life building. You ruined relationships that I worked my entire life building. Now you're trying to ruin school. Third year, 3.9 GPA, and everybody knows you did it, and they're mad. I've tried very hard to rebuild my credit that you destroyed. You ruined that. Everybody's mad about it, sir. That is not how you get people to like you, by ruining. You get people to like you by being kind. You got a bunch of chivalrous men pissed off at you right now. You know the Fabian puzzle? They had power to get that to me. Right up under your nose in jail, and it wasn't up to you. And y'all scramble around trying to figure out, how does she know what we're doing? How does she know what we said? When you took my home, you pissed them off, so they went to work, because we want you in jail, so you can't ruin anything ever again. You know, if it's illegal and everybody else isn't doing it, it didn't occur to you, maybe that's because people don't like it when you do that, dipshit. You're not all there, are ya? You need to be in a nursing home. Because most people don't have to be told that when someone works very hard to accomplish a goal and you ruin that goal, they're going to kick your ass. They're going to be pissed about it. And so will anyone that cares about them. And it just so happens I have connections with people in power. I had that before I met you. So when it's different when you come at me and y'all scramble around. How'd she know we said that? How'd she know we had a meeting and we discussed that? How did she find out? Because I have connections that you don't have. Those men believe that you stop suffering caused by crime. Little pathetic nothings like you. When I work hard and you ruin it, you don't get a date. You get told on and told on and told on because you piss everybody off. You might have a couple of guys on your payroll that love you. They're kissing your ass while you shit yourself, and they have that all over their face. That's their choice. It's a free country. You can do that if you want. It's illegal. They may have some legal consequences eventually. They may have legal consequences with you. That's their choice. I choose not to do that. I choose to be involved with people that are putting a stop to what you're doing. You're pissing everybody off. So back here, let me do the disclaimer real quick. Use allegedly. Nobody's been found guilty in a court of law yet. Apply the but-for standard. But for Mr. Perry, having somebody get into my apartment illegally and fuck up my computer to try to fuck up my grade and fuck up my money so that he can get me kicked out of my house and he's going to have my car taken. I mean, that was recorded more than once. In your little meeting where y'all all discussed it. We got to get her back to Texas so we can make her do mind us. Do stuff to her, get away with it. We can't get away with in Oklahoma. She can go under a bridge and starve, then she'll mind us. Lie for us. Yup. Who has that recording? How many are there? So, you pissed everybody off at ya. That's how we got that recording, Mr. Perry. Cause and effect. A 6-year-old could get it. Why can't you? You don't get a date. There's a reason everybody's not doing what you do. You get told on and told on and told on. I don't like you. I don't want you. I've gone to great lengths to get away from you and not have a conflict. And you brought the conflict to me, so I'm kicking you off me. You're raping me, and I don't like it. Get off me and get away from me. I'm not asking you. It's getting done for you every time you're told on. I'm sorry, you're stupid, and you can't figure that out by now. I don't even understand that. No one does. You are not wanted. You are not loved. You're told on and told on and told on and told on and told on. And, you know, it was the same thing this morning. I wake up, pick up my phone. I was expecting a text from somebody. He starts typing in my phone. Just be. Just let us ruin you and then lie for us about it. I can see you. Jesus. Ugh. Get out of my phone. Get out of my life. You're a turnoff. Where's Jacqueline when you sit around on your fat, lazy ass bothering me? day after day after day, causing more and more and more harm and more loss, and the kind we won't get over. And why aren't you sorry that you do that? All he wants to know is who's telling on me? Wow, that's your question? So these texts right here are from 2011. He's pulling up behind my house, watching me in my backyard. You know how fucking creepy that is? And also not what you need to do to pass a law in Texas. Our shrink goes, we're not sure, but we think maybe he's not able to properly identify his legislative duties. Cynthia's told him everything she hates in men and everything she likes in men. He does everything she hates and won't do a fucking thing he likes. She didn't say fucking, she's more professional than that, but I am. He does it more. The more she hates it, the more he does it. Then he can't figure out why she doesn't like him. Why he's getting told on. Why we have to repeat ourselves all the time. Most people don't have to be told this, sir, even one time. Why do you have to be told over and over and over and just still don't get it? I don't like you. Get over it and move on. Stop acting like a little girl. You're pathetic. You're pissing everybody off. This is about you ruining my business. This is about you're flirting with me in public. Somebody's going to see it, and I don't want to be your scandal. I have kids. I have a business I've worked very hard to build. And your guy, I go to your guy. What's he say? We're going to ruin your business. Wow. How about thanks for letting us know. We'll talk to him about it. Throwing a jealous fit. I'm like, wow, I guess I didn't realize we were a thing. Yet I didn't get the memo. You got a delusion in your head. You're a whack job. You embarrass me with it. Your soap opera shoved down all of our throats is making us vomit. Stop it, Charles Perry. Stop it. You're just a stalker, nothing more. There's not anything going back to you. I don't think the same things you think. You disgust me. You repulse me. Guys like you repulse even prisoners. Dr. Weck said, yeah, guys like you get beat up in prison because you repulse everybody else. Sex weirdo. Peeping is a crime, not a date. There's a reason it's illegal, and there's a reason everybody else doesn't do it. What the fuck is wrong with you? Listen, I'm sick of hearing from you. I don't want to hear from you. I don't want you watching me in my house. You don't have my consent. You've been billed. You're a rejected failure. I don't want you. I've made that very clear. You need to be in a facility for someone who has mental disabilities and can't understand what people say. I don't like you. I don't want you. Get out of my life. This is when I went to your guy and said, he's doing some bizarre things everybody can see. He's doing it in front of everybody. Make him stop. I don't like it. I don't want that kind of embarrassment on my family. And instead of saying thanks, we'll talk to him. What was said to me is, we're going to ruin your business. Wow. Okay. What a Christian thing to say. Don't again say you're a Christian. Don't. Don't fucking commit that fraud and cause other people to get discouraged in their faith by making a mockery of God like that ever again. Don't tell anybody I know that's what you are, because you're not. I think that people give up on God because of people just like you. He won't crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice to those people you have wronged. He will not falter or lose heart until justice prevails throughout the earth. That is in the Bible, not once but twice. Jesus said it. Because guys like you go around saying you like God, and then you ruin and destroy. When somebody loses something that they've worked very hard for a long time, whether it be a relationship or a goal or a job or a career, there is a profound catastrophic loss, or a home, and it's like grieving a death. And you cause that for your victims day after day, over and over and over and over. But things changed when you did it to me. You started getting told on. And when you're told on, sir, and we have information about what you're going to do before you do it, you do not have a cover-up. And we think you're not clear on that. You don't know. You need to be in a special needs facility. You're not able to process what's happening, and you're not able to understand what the fuck people say to you, because your reaction is never normal. And you have to say the same thing to you over and over and over in these texts. I'm telling your guy, Jordan, I didn't go to the media with this. I'm not trying to hurt your client. I'm trying to make him stop, because somebody else will see it and hurt everybody with it. And I'm telling you now, not media. I'm not trying to hurt your guy. So what in the fuck is the deal with this? I'm going to ruin your business bullshit. Are you a sexual sadist? You can't get sex gratification unless you're ruining somebody? That's what the witness says, and maybe we have more than one. He puts cameras in women's homes. He trolls them. He tells his wife he's going out of town on business. He's not going out of town on business, and he won't take her with him, Jacqueline. I guess Mr. Perry's been living two different pretend worlds. One in Texas and one in Oklahoma, and he's caught now. He doesn't have a date. He's all by himself. He's rejected and alone, and can't figure out, maybe that's because you're making everybody want to hit you. Loss after loss after loss after loss after loss. Everything changed. You had this covered up until you met me, and then all of a sudden things were different. And you're all scrambling around. How does she know what we just said? We want her kicked out of her house and her car taken all at the same time, so she thinks she has no choice but to go to Texas, where we can make it worse for her. And she'll have to lie. We're going to starve her into a lie. And that was recorded and recorded. You've been doing that for about a year now. False arrest her, make her sign a letter of apology we wrote. It's not her words, it's our words. You're caught. If I'm talking about it, you're caught. You don't have a cover-up, dipshit. You're not all there, are you? You got everybody pissed off today. Here's why. One is that you did carry out the threat to take my home. You did carry out the threat to take every penny I have. You've ruined my credit that I worked very hard to rebuild after you fucked it up the first time or two. That made people mad, Mr. Perry. Why wouldn't it? And why wouldn't you know that? So you got told on, and told on, and told on, and told on. Not a date. I don't want you. You disgust me. I'm not going to be and let you ruin and then lie for you. What planet do you fucking live on? You need to remember who it is you're talking to. Who in law enforcement has the actual recordings? You're dealing with people in power, dumbass. You stop it, they'll do it for you. Every time you're told on, that's what that is, dumb fuck. We're sick of you. Boy, everybody's mad. So then, instead of respecting my rights and wishes, now that you're caught over and over and over and over, and taking the hint, people don't like what you're doing. It's called social feedback. You're being stopped, dumb fuck. Leave me alone. You're being stopped every time you're told on. Everybody's mad that you took my house. Mad. Do you understand? They're pissed. And then messed up my computer. And then messed up my grades. They're mad at you. That's why we get that information before you actually start doing it. Mad at you, Calvin. Pissed off at you, David. Furious with you, Matthew Powell. When you're told on, you asked for it. You know they're there. You know they're watching out for me. You know they're watching everything y'all do to me. And you get caught. And you know they're there. You know you're investigated. You know what opened it up? Human rights violations. Because guess what? The rest of the world said we're not going to tolerate men who sexually exploit women and children and starve them and torture them and torment them. They go to jail. That's why it's illegal to do that. When you go into a court of law, Mr. Powell, and you lie, it's called perjury. You go to jail. People don't like it when you do that, sir. So when I quote you, she torpedoed my case. We need her whereabouts. That's people letting you know, not okay, sir. It's not okay. We aren't tolerating it. We're not. You're getting stopped by somebody who has a whole lot more power than you'll ever have. They have more power in their pinky toe than you'll ever have. This isn't political, is it, Mr. Powell, Mr. Person? This is stalking. This is, you got a weird little friend with a weird little problem he has no control over. He is its bitch. And it is making everybody mad and want to vomit and want to hit him, and you too for helping him. And how dare you? Women and children, lives blown up. I'm not the only one. The witness said he goes around trolling women. Trolling. Do you know how that sounds? Trolls women. Can't get a real date. Can't figure out how to get women to like him. Tells his wife he's out of town on business. He's never in Lubbock. He's living a pretend world that's not real. He doesn't have a happy marriage. He doesn't have a Christianity. He doesn't have shit. None of it's real. It's all a fraud. He's not even a Christian. He says he's a Satanist. That's what he told me. So then he goes up to Oklahoma and pretends he and Cynthia are in a relationship. Right, okay. Delusional. Peeping, stalking, and hacking is not a date, and it's not a relationship. You're rejected. I moved twice to get away from you. I've sued you and sued you and sued you to try to be rid of you. You buying your way out of it didn't change what I want. I don't want you. You disgust me. 12 years, no date, just told on and told on and told on and told on. And you can't see, maybe what you're doing is just making everybody pissed off at you. You fix it and you get out. You don't have a choice. Every time you're told on, you're being stopped. It's being done for you. You're just mentally slow. And it's very frustrating to have to deal with somebody that's slow like you. I don't get it. I don't understand that. I'm not a special ed teacher. I don't have paints, finger paints and puppets and crayons to help somebody with the mental IQ of a 2-year-old. When you do things that are illegal, that means people don't like it when you do that. They made laws to make it where you can't do it or you go to jail. I don't know who the hell you think you are. So the witness says he'll troll women when they're not home. He'll have cameras installed in their home. And then he broadcasts them all over the dark web, all over the world, for everyone to see him starving, tormenting, torturing, blowing up families, blowing them up. They lose everything they've worked for. Relationships start to crumble. These children's lives are blown up. They have no semblance of a childhood anymore. They are forced to grow up. And they shouldn't have to. Not yet. They are having to deal with mom and dad. What he does is he'll cause them to lose their job. Then he hacks them so they can't find another one. Like you hacked me, ruined my car, had somebody get in my apartment. Right? That was before you had me kicked out. Ruined my computer. It does not work. It's brand new. And there's no excuse for that. It was working just fine. But you didn't want court briefs typed up. Right? When you got me kicked out, there's a court proceeding that makes that happen. And you didn't want me fighting that. Against my will, you got into my home illegally. You got a key from the landlord, didn't you? You got a key to my cars, every single one of them. We know that. We can prove that in your criminal case. Who has that information, Mr. Perry? What law enforcement agency is fighting to make you stop it? He'll sell watch time. Watches them in their house against their will. Most of them don't even know it. Then gets them fired. They make sure they can't find another job. And then they call family and ask for help. And then that creates some tension in the family relationship. So now they're starting to lose and erode the family support. Then they lose the house. Now they're unfit. So I'll have the ex take the kids away. And those children's lives that was peaceful and happy and harmonious is over. And then when you did it to me, though, all of a sudden everything changed. And everything was different. And you're so fucktard, you don't see that. I don't even know what to say to that. Cause and effect. If you do X, then Y happens. So if you don't like Y, don't do X. And they do it every day. Who told on me? Who told on me? Why is that the question, sir? How about what can I do to make amends? Like they have an AA? And get off you. You are raping me, and I said get off me. You're getting kicked off me every time you're told on. You can't stop yourself every time you're told on. They're doing it for you. You're just not all there to put that together, that is what's happening. Everyone hates your guts for what you're putting me through and the Nealey family through. No one gives a fuck what you think. We're sick of hearing it. And yet, despite the fact that I've said that over and over and over and over, you this morning start typing in my phone again, just be, who told, I can see you, all the shit that creeps me the fuck out. You don't get a date doing that shit. What do you get? For a decade, told on and told on and told on and told on. Your guy was recorded. When he pesters her and takes her money, things do not go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. We're seeing things happen we've never seen before. We don't know who these guys are. Your guy was recorded. We've never had one of our victims. He didn't say, he said we've never had one figure out we had cameras in their house that were causing their problems. Send us an invoice, sue us, and solve a murder we committed to cover all that up. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before, and you get up and do it again today like you understood nothing that I fucking said in the last 20 bazillion podcasts I've done. The last 12 years, I don't want you. I'm not in love with you. I'm repulsed by you, sicko. There's a reason other guys don't do what you do. And there's a reason it is illegal. This thing opened up due to human rights violations, deprivation of a woman's right to privacy, and food, and a job, without you butting in and causing a problem, Calvin. Whoever said that, we've never had one figure out we had cameras and that were to cause our problems. You did this time, though, and you act like you don't know that yet. What is wrong with people like you? I mean, first of all, nobody understands why one person would want to hurt another person. 99.9% of the population doesn't. When 9/11 happened, people came running to help. What can I do to help? There's suffering here. I want to help relieve it as best I can. Derek Chauvin caused suffering for Mr. Floyd, and people screamed and hollered to stop the suffering. That's normal human behavior. You are sick. You have made everybody pissed off at you like a motherfucker because you took my home, you're taking my money, you fucking with my school. You're trying to take everything I've worked for. You ruined my credit again. Now I got to start all over again to rebuild it. You'd already taken my home before, more than once. Twice, the landlord refused payment because you were paying him more to kick me out. 5 times my car's been wrecked in 3 years. You're trying to take my car. So you made a threat. You were recorded talking about it. There is a law enforcement agency that has that recording. I just typed up what I listened to when they played it for me. It is everywhere. You don't have a cover-up. Everyone knows it. So now you carried out the threat and had my car wrecked again because you're still trying to take my car. It isn't your car. It's my car. You fuck off, butt-in. You made everybody hate your guts when you did that. When I tried to get the car, you made people hate your guts, that I had to fight for it. Now she can't say. First, we had the recording of you saying, she's not getting a new apartment and a new car. And there were people going, wow, here's the thing, stalker, doesn't concern you. Bought out. Doesn't concern you, sir. All of a sudden, I didn't make shit. So I threw a fit. Guess who comes walking in with money? Your boy Terry Wagner, the conduit of coercion. If we think she's doing what we want, we'll send Terry in with money. If we think we need to give her tough love or punish her, then we'll pull it out. Tough love? Fuck you. You don't even know what love is. I don't like you. Doesn't go both ways. You got delusion, soap opera, something that is making everybody mad. Get off me. Get off me. It is not love. It is rape. Love doesn't hurt and destroy and ruin. I get that maybe you were abused as a kid, although I think that's bullshit. I think you were born wacky, and that's your excuse that you made. I don't think anybody abused you. I think you're just wacko. You were born like that, and you needed an excuse. Oh, I'll just say I was abused. You weren't abused, you sick son of a bitch. You're making that up. Nothing you say is true anyway. I know, but how would anybody believe you? But criminologists have said that violent offenders are often abused as children. But guess what? Only 0.1% becomes a violent offender and uses that as an excuse to fail and hurt people. 99.9% of the population can go be normal. Why can't you? I don't think anybody abused you. I think you're just a sicko. I think you're just born like that. I think you're just can't fucking act like a normal human being. There's doctors. Go see one. If you were struggling, go see a doctor. You got $25 million to buy a cover-up you didn't get? Go buy a doctor. Try to make a way to get some help with your disease, because it's hurting other people. Here's the thing about mental illness. It's tolerable until it starts becoming criminal. John Hinckley Jr. was not allowed to remain in society after he tried to kill people. He did kill people over an imaginary romance with a woman who did not like him. I don't like you. Stalking is a crime. When somebody says, leave me alone, one time is all that should take. You're not a gentleman. You're a rapist. You do everything I hate and nothing I like. And you think there's a romance there? Wow. On what planet, sir? Everyone's sick and tired of your soap opera. He has two different lives. Neither one of them is real. Goes up to Oklahoma, pretends like he's in a romance with Cynthia. Hadn't seen her since 2013. She's suing the fuck out of him. She hates his guts. And he thinks there's something there. Wow, okay. Delusional. Wacky. I want the forged marriage license, and I want that divorce filed, and I want half of everything you own. You owe me money legit, so don't fucking offer me a bribe again. I'll starve you until you're under a bridge, and then you'll have to take my BILI money, and I won't do it. And I said no. I'll do the bridge, but I'm not going to do what you want. What law enforcement agency has those recordings? What court has already heard them to get probable cause for something else? Which one is going to make the arrest? Because there will be an arrest, and you won't be around to hurt us anymore. And we can tell everybody you've hurt. You're safe now. We caught him. We caught the bad guy. We stopped him. Every time you're told on, that's what that is. You're being stopped. Everybody's sick and tired of you. Drama queen. You're not owed a romance. You're not owed a lie. You ruined my credit and I'm mad. Everyone is. So when you start talking about stuff and scrambling around, how did she find out? How does she know? We've never had one find out before. How did she? Why? Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? And it has happened every day since the McNamara email of 2015. You got a big old organization. It's international crime. It takes a little bit. But what day are we going to get it all and it's over? And you're arrested and we're done. And you can't hurt me ever again. I will never be broke again. I'll have my privacy back. My credit won't be fucked up again, ever. You made everybody mad when you did that to me. And everything changed. And then you got to ask, how'd she find out? How'd she know about that? The letter. Both. There's two letters. Some apology letter you wrote for me. We're going to put her back in jail and tell her she has a plea agreement. But she has to sign this letter we wrote. Not her words, it's ours. Under duress, she'll have to sign it. That's coercion. Dumb fuck. That's illegal. And we found out it before. I'm not in jail. We found out about it before. You don't have a cover-up. You don't have a cover-up. And that hasn't happened before you did it to me. Act like you understand what the fuck is happening. And what people say to you. Or go to a nursing home. Everybody's tired of this. You took my home, you got told on for that. You ruined my computer, you got told on for that. You ruined my credit, you got told on for that. You take my food and my money and my relationships, you get told on for that. And that's how that works, and that's how that always works. And what day is it you'll be arrested and you're gone, and we don't have to deal with this shit anymore? I'm not going to do what you want. I'm not going to do what you want. You stop or they'll do it for you. Every time you're told on, that is what's happening, Alzheimer's. I can't believe you can't figure that out by now. Your conduct is offensive and deviant and sickening. And so you're told on and told on and told on and told on. There's not a date in 12 years. I don't want you. I've kicked you off me as hard as I can. And everybody has sat there and watched me do it. Never seen a chick this brave. I guess somebody was complaining. Why does she talk in the third person? Okay, I'm going to explain that. First of all, I don't. I talk in the first person. I'm doing that right now. If I'm quoting somebody else and they're referring to me in the third person, that would be what that is, dumb fuck. Now, when I did court briefs, initially I started doing them because I was like, didn't go to law school. So I'm using somebody else's and I just basically typed what they type. Now, once I'm looking at it and going, okay, this is a lawyer speaking for his client, so that he's wording everything in the third person. If I'm typing my own brief, then I might want to word it in the first person. However, there was something else discussed that we made the decision not to do that. And I'm not going to tell you what that was, because it's none of your business. When I'm quoting someone else who's talking about me, I'm going to do it in the third person, right? If I'm talking about me like I am right now, I'm doing it in the first person. I'm sorry that bothered someone. So you got too much time on your hands if you have to ask questions like that and you can't figure it out on your own. I'm saying it flat out. This person said she spent $5,000 avoiding going to just fucking work because Mr. Perry was threatening her there. So he can't go up to Oklahoma and they can't get him to fucking leave and say he feels like he's under threat. And whilst passing around a forged marriage license, 1 minute she's a threat, the next minute that's his wife. And he's told 5 different stories. She's the concubine, she's the girlfriend, she's the fiance, she's the wife. None of it's real. None of it's true. He's actually just a stalker. We didn't let John Hinckley Jr. just go around and do what he did. We didn't let John hide after he killed 5 people and 2 cops. 2 of those people were cops. They're mentally ill. So what makes you think they're going to let you just run around wrecking havoc and making trouble for everybody else and do nothing? When you're told on, you think that's really the case, that everybody's just going to let you go? When you're quoted, she torpedoed my case. We need her whereabouts. Matthew Powell, do you think they're just going to let you go? If I'm quoting you and you haven't seen that happen before? Right. Get a grip on reality. Mr. Perry, when you get caught and told on, and I'm quoting you, it is a direct result of some loss you caused me, and you pissed everybody off, and you pissed off people with more power in their pinky toe than you will ever have in your life. You are not wanted, and you are not loved. You are rejected. It is 12 years. There has not been a date. There will never be a fucking date with me. You want to force me against my will back to Texas by way of illegal activity, and it has been duly noted for the record, Mr. Perry. And I'm going to quote the reporter again because I've not heard it said this well. And she's not the only one, by the way. It was a female, but she's not the only one. In March 2020, when Mr. Perry began to offer her bribes, I'll give you whatever you want if you lie. And her response was, fuck you. Shove that up your ass. Give back what you took from me legitimately and get the hell out, because that's what I want. You're going to give me what you want. I don't want what you want. I want what I want. And what I want is what you took from me. I want it back, and I want you gone. And part of that includes Mr. Nealey goes home, because we can all see he didn't do that. You can't beat someone to death and have nothing on you. You can't do it while drugged and unconscious. And I said he had drug overdose. And I said it in January 2020. I said it again in March 2020. And I said, by the way, Mr. Nealey, Officer Nealey, Manfred Police Officer Michael Nealey did not get tested until after it was too late. Degradation had already occurred of his evidence of being drugged. And I was right. That did not come out until May. I don't think it hit the docket until like June or July. It came out in a deposition of May 2020. So, who told me that? People with more power in their pinky toe than you will ever have in your life. You pathetic, sick son of a bitch. So, what this reporter said is, had they done that, Mike's home, she's doing good. Had she continued to now assert that they killed Chief Miller, we would say, well, but she's wrong, or they wouldn't have gotten Michael Nealey home. And agreed with her, yeah, we can see he has nothing on him. We back the blue, we support police. And we don't want that suspicion on us, so let's get him home. And if we did something we shouldn't have, made a mistake with Cynthia, give her back what we should give her back. And everybody goes on their separate ways. But that's not what they did. Instead, they continued to threaten and harass and carry out those threats and threaten and harass. And they got her kicked out of her house, and they're trying to starve her into a lie. And they're butting into things that are illegal to butt into in illegal ways. Making phone calls they have no business making. Invading her privacy in unimaginable, sick, fucked up ways that no normal person could bring themselves to do. And Mike is in jail, and that trial was as bizarre as it gets. 4 times now, that chick is not allowed in court. There's a motion filed again where there should have by law been a hearing, and there wasn't. She's kept out of court for now the 4th time. And when you hear her podcast, you can see why that is. So, I could say right now, with very great certainty, they in fact did kill Chief Miller, and she's right. Otherwise, why would they do that to him in his trial? Conceal major material facts that would have changed the outcome of the decision-making body. It is perjury. It is perjury when you do that, Mr. Powell. So, did you suborn perjury when you called Mr. Myers and Mr. Mitchell and said, don't let her in court? Mr. Mitchell had a fiduciary obligation to vigorously defend his client, and what he did instead is go into court and claim that with his ass, while drugged and unconscious, his client caused blunt force trauma to the head, internal decapitation, and strangulation. He's not superpowers, Mr. Perry. That reporter commented on what a bizarre thing to say that was. That was the defense. It's a Brady violation, Mr. Myers, when you don't get somebody tested while they're showing signs of a drug overdose. You wait until those signs and symptoms are resolved with countermeasures. Something you called, your first responders called Narcan. And he still sits in jail while you're out reoffending. And we're pissed. Because the people that I know are like my granddad. They have power. You relieve suffering, my granddad said. As lawmen, we are called. It is our assignment on earth to relieve suffering caused by crime. End it. Stop it. Or we're going to kick the shit out of you. That's a metaphor, Matt. So, when you're told on, that's what that is. She torpedoed my case. You didn't have a case, there was no crime. By law, I had to file a police report, and you guys knew that. Because my first protective order request was denied because I forgot the police report. You knew I had to do it. It was the law. There's no political vendetta here, Mr. Powell. It is your obligation as a prosecutor. Guess what I'm studying last night? It's not the first time I've studied this. Prosecutorial misconduct. Racism, gender bias, all that stuff. In the class that I have now failed, since I had to do it on my phone, and it was took 4 times longer than it should have, and even that, I don't even know what it. You have to type a document on your phone, and it gets over to the other side. It's not gonna look right. But guess what I studied? American Bar Association Rule 3.8, Section A, Mr. Powell. If you don't have probable cause to believe there's a crime, you don't file charges. You better believe there's a crime, and not only that, but that you can get a verdict of beyond reasonable doubt. There was no police investigation. I didn't get a blood test either. 2 of us. Protocol wasn't followed. Kind of like with Justice Scalia, questioned by murder cop commander, DC Police, William O'Ritchie. He's smart, and he's outspoken. I like him. We're impressed with him. Why didn't they do protocol post-mortem on Justice Scalia in Texas, West Texas, as it would have been done if he died in DC? Something's fishy about that. My case, my police report that I had to do by law, Mr. Powell, Clower versus Marler, Marler versus Clower. I always get them mixed up, the plaintiff and the defendant. That is the Supreme Court ruling that says you got to bring the police report to court with you. And why Judge Eyrick denied me the first time I went, didn't ask for money. All I asked for was make the fucker leave me alone. Since he's unable to behave himself and act normal like everyone else can do, here we are. You got to sue somebody to make him leave you alone. Imaginary soap opera queen. And they've called you all kinds of names. They call you all the Apple Dumpling Gang. They call David and Charles Beavis and Butthead. They call Charles and Matt Tweedledee and Tweedledum. They call Charles Liz Taylor, soap opera queen. Taylor Swift. They make fun of y'all like a motherfucker. Charles is the Hobbit. You're not impressing people. People don't respect you, or they wouldn't do that. Anthony Weiner. Made fun of him like a motherfucker. Saturday Night Live jokes, right? You're that. You've reduced yourself to the butt of a dirty joke, all of you. Gentleman is what people respect, especially women. Chivalrous. So every time you're told on, that's what that is. But that's what the guy said. He was pissed off at you. He's threatening, she can't have that apartment or that new car. And then I threw a fit. So here comes Terry. I'll help you get the apartment and the new car. Oh, really? Wow, okay. So I got it. And somebody we think it was, I'm sorry. The guys that play those recordings for me know who it was. They won't ever tell me who I'm listening to. And I've argued with them at times. I want to know who that one was. Nope, I can't tell you. Because I need you, if you're on the stand, I need you to be able to say you don't know. If they come and fuck with you, I need you to be able to say you don't know who that is. Sometimes I can tell by content. Anybody could. Anybody could tell. I learned to recognize Mr. Powell's voice because he was talking to Charles so much. How can we make this lie work? How can we make that lie work? Nothing political here, Mr. Powell. When I said I didn't want to hurt him, when I'm trying to tell Jordan is I didn't go to the media with this. I didn't go to the media with it for 4 years. I was in Oklahoma. Wasn't even in Texas anymore when I went to the media with it. And I did that so I didn't end up like Chandra Levy, Mr. Powell. This isn't about abortion. It's not about gay rights, not about gun rights, not about the, environmental issues. It's not about taxes. It's not about any fucking thing but personal shit. This is not what you do to pass a law in Texas. Trying to take my apartment out, my car away, wreck my car 4, 5, 6 times in a very short period of time. I'm always hit. I'm not the one hitting. You cannot back in to someone's bumper with the side of your car, as it turns out. Did you not know that? You guys act like, 1 minute they're asking me, are you a cop? She's solving a murder. We've never had that happen before. Murder we did. Chief Miller. Yeah, and then we'll send a guy to run it back into her, and then he'll try to convince her she did that. This is the kind of stupid stuff I have to deal with on a daily basis. I'm like, oh my God. So anyways, the guy says, so now she can't say she didn't get the new apartment in the new car. And the other guy was very upset about that, by the way, that he was talking to. Do you have any idea what she had to go through to get that? Nobody should have to go through that to get that. And it's not Charles Perry's business where she lives or what she does. None of his business. And at that point, I had just started rebuilding my credit to where I could get an apartment and do stuff like that. So he said, watch this. Yeah, he let her have it now, but watch this. As soon as she gets it, he'll start trying to take it away. And you have done that, and you pissed everybody off. Everybody's very upset with you right now that I'm homeless. Everybody's very upset with you right now. I lost my bank account. Everybody's pissed off with you. My computer's broken, and my homework didn't get done. Everybody's very angry with you. So when we quote you verbatim, don't ask who told. Just know you got everybody mad again because we're sick and tired of the suffering that you're causing day after day after day. And when you do it to me, you're seeing things you've not seen before. Right? Charles, you are not wanted in my life. Nobody invited you here. Stalking is a crime. When a woman says, I don't want a relationship with you, you need to leave me alone. And you continue to follow and harass and stalk and bother and invade privacy and butt in. That is stalking, sir. You're rejected and told on and told on and told on and told on. And that is them doing it for you. Some of it was supposed to be a deterrent. See, the thing is there's a need to know investigation, Mr. Perry. I wasn't even supposed to say there was such a thing. But they recorded you talking about killing me so much. The head of it, the head guy, said, I think that we're going to have to go ahead and let him know there is an investigation. You're not allowed to say who we are. Maybe he won't kill you if he knows if he at least knows he's being investigated. Because for most reasonable, prudent people, they'd stop at that point. Not dipshit Perry. He just goes at it and goes, oh, who told on me? Every day I'm asked the same questions. Who told on me? Never, what can I do to resolve this and make amends and do the right thing, and I'm going to leave you alone. I want you to be happy even if it's not with me. That's what love is, Mr. Perry. Love is, I want you to be happy and have a good life even if it is not with me. Not, I'm going to ruin you and put you under a bridge so you think there's nothing else for you but me. That is some sick, twisted stuff, and it is crime. You're a criminal and nothing more. You're a job for me and nothing more. Nothing more at all. And you know, sometimes the greater the suffering, the greater the reward at the end of it. So the greater suffering you've caused Mike Nealey. How many times do y'all toss his cell wanting to know if he's talking to me? And if so, how? Did you find anything? How many times you had his cell tossed? We know you have. We know you went to him and said, she's gone. They got her back to Texas. They're getting her back to Texas. She got kicked out of her house. And he screamed. He was upset. How dare you put him through that? Listen, I might be homeless, and for a short time I can stay with a friend, but I'm going to tell you something. Mr. Perry, it is not a trophy that I'm homeless, that you did that to me. When you get told on, it's because you pissed people off when you did that. He'll type in my phone literally, yeah, I made you homeless. Yeah, I'm taking your car. Yeah, I'm going to make you lie. And I'm like, wow, okay, but that's not a good thing. Do you understand, mental retard? That's not a good thing that you're doing that. Do you understand? People are very angry at you, and that's why you get told on. Don't ask how I found out. You provoked it. You're ruining people's lives, and it's pissing people off. The wrong people. You heard of the Fabian puzzle? Do you know what the McNamara email is, Mr. Perry? We think you don't know what that means. We think you have no idea what that means, what that is. You're not all there. What does that mean, Mr. Perry? Listen, I'm sorry to call him a mental retard, but when you have somebody who is causing catastrophic, horrible loss and tragedy in their criminal way, and you're the victim of that, I'm sorry, but to release some of the stress, you get to do that. That doesn't apply to people who have Down syndrome, Mr. Perry. I don't talk about. I had patients that had Down syndrome that could think circles around you. Retard means to be held back. You're not thinking like a normal, prudent person. The word retarded means to be held back. When you harm me, you get stopped. We find out about it. You have recording after recording of you talking about intent to coerce a lie by way of interfering with commerce and contracts. So that's criminal activity. It is not a trophy. It's nothing for you to be proud of or brag about. We don't even understand why the hell you do that. The guys that help me, watch what you do in my phone. We're all going, wow, oh my God, what a whack job. He thinks that's going to make you like him. I took your home. I took your car. I can see you. I can't get a date, but I can take care. I can ruin your life. I want you to lie. Just be. It's like literally listening to somebody talk like that. It is insane to have someone mentally ill. Yeah, doesn't understand a fucking thing you say. No reason, no logic. I got people that can get me this. Mr. Perry helping me. You don't even know what's all on that page other than what's there. There's other stuff on that page that you don't know anything about in that book, that you wouldn't understand it because you're not in the need to know. You're the target of the need to know. So what day is it they'll arrest you and we're finally done? And then I'm going to come see you in prison and go, is it cute now? You thought you had power taking my home and taking my car and ruining my life over and over and over. And everybody hated your guts for it. They hate you for it, stupid. Everybody hates you for what you're doing to me, and Mr. Nealey hates you, and that's why you're told on. And you got people that can get me this right up under your nose, and it wasn't up to you. How stupid for you to keep doing the same thing and get the same results, and then have the nerve to demand a lie and ask me who told. Fuck you. Fuck you. People with Down syndrome aren't held back. I had patients that had that. They were perfectly fine, had great jobs, didn't hurt anybody. So it's not the same. That word isn't referring to that. It's referring to a sick fuck criminal who can't tell that he's making everybody more angry by the day and hurting and robbing and ruining and hurting and raping and killing and robbing and tragedy and ruin and robbery and tragedy. And we all want you gone. You shut up and get out of my life because it's being done for you, weirdo. So when we quote you, it is because you did something like heck me and jam something up, and you cost me time or money, or you cost me to lose my credit, or you cost me to lose my home. It is illegal to do that, fucktard. You don't get a date, you get told on. Why can you not get the cause and effect? Why can you not get the cause and effect by now? Do you know what the McNamara, you know what this is? You don't know, I think you don't even understand what the hell I'm saying. I think that you got some kind of mental disorder that you can't even understand what the fuck people say to you. You don't understand words, do you? Do you understand what this is? Before you did the false arrest that this email talks about, 3-4 months before it's on the docket, I find out Mike Nealey is drugged and not tested. I knew when he was tested. So, do you understand what that means? Do you understand how embarrassed you, how I'm embarrassed by you? I'm ashamed of you. You make my skin crawl. You piss everybody off. We're all tired of this suffering. Everybody's sick and tired of this suffering. Everybody's sick and tired of how you need a lie. You don't have a lie. If I'm saying it before you did it, you have no cover-up. The more crime you commit against me, the more uncovered it gets. Why don't you get that? Why are you dumb? Why don't you get it? So listen, I'm sorry that this is a crazy rant today, but I have had it, Mr. Warman, with your client bothering me. Get him off me. You don't have a choice. He acts like he has no idea what's happening or what I just said. Never responds right. So there's the disclaimer. Use allegedly. And before I have had to go through all that for 12 years, over and over and over, I wouldn't do these to document it for court. They're already being played in court, Mr. Perry, because my intent is being established. You're violating me. You're raping me. You're causing problems. And we're tired of it. And now there's a judge that knows my intent is that you're gone. Gone. And we don't have to deal with it again. I will never be broke again. And that your intent is to buy a lie and force me against my will into your world of crime, sicko, that I'm not going to join. When somebody tells me no, when somebody asks me if I want to do something and I say no, and they continue to ask, All it does is piss me off. And then if you try to do things to force it, boy, you really get me pissed off. So who got this to me? Mr. Perry. But for you doing stuff like this, we wouldn't do these podcasts. Apply the reasonable, prudent individual standard. And I assert all constitutional rights. The First Amendment, the 14th. Apply the law equally, damn it. Apply it equally. All of them. You took my house, so when we quote you, don't get all up in arms and dismayed and shocked and go around trying to, how'd she find that out? You asked for it. I told you that's what happens since here, 2015. You fuck with me, you get told on. You do X, Y happens. If you don't like Y, stop doing X. Get off me, get away from me, stay away from me and my family. Get out of my phone, get out of my life, go away, get away from me. And do not contact me again. Because you're going to get told on because I hate it, and then you go to jail. There's a lot of people praying very, very hard for us to get everything we need so we can do that. All of you are in jail, and there is no more suffering, and there is no more hardship, and I will never be broke again. And, nor will these other women. Don't ask me again who told. That's not the question you need to be asking. What you need to be asking is, what can I do to make this right? Maybe when I go to jail, I can throw myself at the mercy of the court and say, I tried to make it right before my arrest. Would you please give me mercy when you sentence me? Because malicious aforethought and premeditation, like this establishes, and everything else we quote you just said, that's what that's for. The sentences are harsher, much harsher. Your little, how did you know Mike Nealey had to be begged to go to Pensacola? How'd you know which one of us talked him into it? Because we had a plan of murder. And when he didn't die, just like you, we did the same thing. Put him in, due to false arrest and committed fraud upon a court. Perjury. So, Mr. Perry, act like you can understand what people are saying. Act like you know what this means. Because it seems like you have no idea. And if you have no idea, you need a special needs facility. And when I say retard, I'm not talking about people with Down syndrome. They're fine. They're not held back by shit. I had patients with Down syndrome. I'm talking about a sick, fucked up criminal who is held back in being normal by some sick, twisted mind who enjoys hurting people and doesn't think twice about it. And the only care in the world to him is who told on me. Not empathy for the victims and the suffering and the hardships you've caused. You don't give a shit about us. You don't give a shit about what John Nealey wakes up to every day and the Miller kids wake up to every day and what my kids had to wake up to every day. Me and Dennis would wake up and I would go in and tell him I'm going to go to work. And after I sent his dad this email, he heard me on the phone screaming and crying to his dad. He's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. I don't know what to do. He's trying to kill me. So, and he's using cops to threaten me. Who the fuck does that? My son heard that conversation. He saw me emotionally distressed over that threat, Mr. Perry. So every day when I'd go to my kid, I'm go looking him in the eye and I'd go, I'm going to work now. I don't know if I'm coming back. I want you to know I love you. If something happens and I don't come back, call your dad and call Craig. We have that conversation every day. Can you imagine what it's like being a 14, 15, 16-year-old little kid and you're told that? Mr. Perry? Mr. Perry, do you understand what it's like to lose everything you have and being a young man and you're not sure that you might have to identify your mom at the morgue? I'm going to tell you something. When there are often some kind of a bigger criminal investigation, some of the people involved in that might have to be sacrificed for the greater good of the whole. All right? Now, I'm not going to explain that, and Mr. Perry's slow. He won't get what the hell that means. And I'm not going to say any more than that. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Mr. Perry, I want you to know, when you contact me, we get more of things like this. When you cause a loss for me, you made everybody mad when you took my home. And so we got more stuff like this. When you fucked up my credit, we got more stuff like this. When you jammed up my computer and caused me to have a problem at school, my grades are 3.9. Any problem that I have, you caused, that's your failure, not mine. You are breaking the law, you're going to go to jail. Somebody somewhere has the recordings of this, and we get more when you cause me time, when you cause me 1 penny of loss, when you cause me to lose my home, when you're trying to get my car, when you cause me anything at all. Mr. Perry, every day Mr. Nealey's in jail, we'll get one more of these just like this. Don't fucking ask who told, poke and peep. You're weirdo. You are weirdo. It doesn't get any more weird than you. And you repulse me. You repulse even prisoners. Your kind gets beat the fuck up. You're going to have to make arrangements. Right? Yeah, I mean, soon as they arrest you, your attorney better go start having conversations. Because I'll tell you what, they'll beat the shit out of you. Jeff Epstein, they don't even know if he's murdered. Right? Sex weirdo types. Repulse even prisoners. When I got the harassment email, Mr. Perry, he's going to send you home and harass the fuck out of you. And tweet from your phone and text from an email. I have 200 emails and texts I've never seen. He intercepted. Never saw him. I'll see him later. There was some that, my gosh, at least 2. This when I saw the person face to face, they would be mad at me. Why didn't you text me back? Didn't know you texted me. They'd show it to me. I'm showing them my phone. I didn't get it. Charles Perry got it. Creepy Charles. Charles, I said shut up. God damn it, shut up. When you contact me, we get more like this. Mr. Perry, I'm going to repeat myself. When you contact me at all, get out of my computer. He always types in my computer like he thinks I care what he thinks. Nobody understands why the fuck he thinks that. We're like, wow, what kind of wackadoo doesn't get it by now? I don't give a shit what you think. We're all tired of hearing it. We're all sick and tired of hearing it. We're all tired of hearing it. How many times do you want me to repeat that? Mr. Perry, we're all sick and tired of hearing it. We're sick and tired of you. Everybody's tired of you. So we get more of these. Don't complain about it. You asked for it. I don't want you in my life. I said get out of my life. My computer doesn't even work. He can still type in it. Wow. What does that tell you? Look at this. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we get more of this just like this. Mr. Perry, if I'm saying it beforehand, you don't have a cover-up. Mr. Perry, when you cause a problem for everybody else, they get mad at you. Mr. Perry, do you understand what people are saying to you? You act like you don't. You act like you have no idea what people say. You want to know who told. And I'm not told that. Mr. Perry, nobody tells me that. They keep that from everybody. That's very confidential. Mr. Perry, I got to repeat myself over and over and over and over. Mr. Perry, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I want you to shut up and get away from me. Mr. Perry, do you understand what is happening when you're told on? You piss everybody off. That's social feedback. Everybody hates you for what you're doing to me and the Nealeys. Everybody hates you for what you're doing to me and my family. Everybody hates you for what you're doing to me and the Nealeys. Everybody hates you. And once you're gone, that's what these are. What court are these in already? Everybody hates you. Go away from me. Get away from me. Get away from me. Shut up. Shut up and get away from me. Do you understand now what I'm saying? Shut up and get away from me. Shut up and get away from me. Did I say it enough times? When we get these, it's none of your business who told. You made everybody mad. That's why this shit is illegal. It's illegal because you make people mad when you do it. In 12 years, you're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on, and told on, and told on. Because everybody hates you for this, for what you're doing to us. Hates your guts. Get away from me. Get away from me. Stay away from me. Shut up and get away from me. Did I say it enough? Do you get it now? Fucktard. I don't want to hear from you. I don't like you. No one does. Things are different when you do it to me. You need to keep up. Mental slow. Everybody doesn't act like you because your conduct is offensive and sickening. Now, stop contacting me. Stop causing problems for me. Get out of my privacy. Get out of my life. And don't bother anybody again. I'm not going to take your bribe. What I want is the legit money you owe. Give it back. Get Mike home and get the fuck away from me. And stop making everybody say the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Leave me the fuck alone.